The thing that truly got me into Heathens wasn't that it just looked very good for an indie show. It was the premise. But not in the way that you expect. Like, yeah, demons in hell, we've seen that thousands of times already. But what Heathens actually does is treat hell like it's a place that people live in. It's a functional society. People have jobs, there's a system, there's politics, God's gone, and heaven and hell are just trying to figure out how to keep the lights on together. And I generally thought that this was interesting. It's not hell as this edgy backdrop, it's hell as this actual setting that has weight to it. That's what made me pay attention. So let's actually talk about what is Heathens and what I like about it. Before we get into what actually the story of Heathens is, we need to explain what even is Heathens. Heathens is an indie animated show created by Studio Psycho. And one thing they have to learn about this is that the studio, most of their actual animators have worked on shows like The Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones, so they have experience working in indie animation, which is one of the things that makes this show truly amazing. And the premise is literally in hell. It's a whole society. Heaven and hell actually have to work together to keep the world running while God mysteriously disappeared. And in the middle of all this, you got a crew of 3 demons trying to survive and figure out their lives, with bounties, brawls, heists, that kind of a thing. The pilot specifically follows Axel, this eager, rookie demon who decides he's going to try to hunt a hellhound out on the outskirts of District 3 of Hell, dragging his 2 friends along whether they like it or not. Jumping into the actual pilot, the first thing that hit me was the art style. Immediately, this doesn't look like your typical indie animated show. The character designs are very clean. The backgrounds have this rocky, desert, wasteland type vibe that makes it feel like an actual place. It's not like hell where it's like fire and fire and fire. It actually looks like an actual desert and an actual real city and everything. And yeah, they have experience working like this. Like I said before, they have the same people that have worked on The Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones. They know how settings should work. And that's the thing that makes this show truly unique. They've taken some of the things that in Murder Drones, sure, the setting could have been improved upon, and they improved upon it. And that's what makes this so good. Now let's actually talk about the trio themselves. The characters that really sold me this show. You got Axel, this enthusiastic, rookie energy that clearly wants to just prove himself. He's one of those driving the plot of the pilot. Because he decided, hey, let's go hunt a hellhound and not go to the pound which has hellhounds there because he got scared because they were too aggressive on him. Yeah, if you don't get this, Axel's kind of an idiot. I just gotta say it. And then you got Aura and Carlos, his 2 friends who are clearly done with his nonsense, but they show up to truly support him, to make sure he doesn't go kill himself trying to do something stupid. And this dynamic is so fun to watch. The bickering, the chaos, the fact that they're all clearly one very well run unit, but they annoy each other. That's just good character writing that we typically don't see that often. The pilot doesn't stop to explain who these people are or dump a backstory on us. It just drops you into the mission and lets you figure it out. And some people might find that truly to be kind of disappointing, kind of jarring, and I get it. But for me, it made me want to feel like I wanted to learn more about them. It made me feel like, hey, I'm looking forward to future episodes so I can get to know their backstories. Not knowing their backstories in episode 1 makes them more mysterious, more unique to learn about. And it actually makes you want to care for them. Okay, so this is the part that I actually want to spend some time on because where Heathens truly separates itself from other shows that are doing the hell setting. And look, I love Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. They both do a lot with their versions of hell, but the way they approach it is pretty specific. In those shows, hell is built around the sinners. Humans who died and got sent down. There's a class system, there's a hierarchy. Lucifer is technically the king of hell, if you truly think about it. And heaven is doing exterminations. It's a hell as a consequence, a place where people end up. In Heathens, doesn't truly do that. In Heathens, hell is just where people are from. It's not a punishment. It's not some afterlife situation. It's like a home for these sinners that we typically think of. Hell and heaven are coexisting to keep the world together because has disappeared. So in order to, make sure there's no chaos and crazy stuff happening, they decide, hey, let's work together. We need to figure out what we do until God returns. There is no one who's truly running both of these places that we know of so far. Maybe in the future part of the story we might learn about that. And the pilot shows that instead of explaining it to you. You're in the outskirts, the wild, ungoverned edges of hell, watching 3 demons go do a job, which is go find hellhounds and give them to people as pets. And through that, you start picking up on how the world truly works. There's clearly a class system. There are areas that the government doesn't reach. There's tension brewing. There's an infernal war that gets hinted at. And there's hooded figures in the post-credit scenes that point at something so much bigger. But none of it truly gets shoved into your face. You're living in this world for 10 minutes and absorbing it. And by the end, you're not confused. You're just curious and you want to learn more about this world. And that approach is what I truly think makes this show feel genuinely special if they can make a full season and if there's multiple episodes. The foundation is already there. I just want to see it truly get built upon. But no, let's actually go talk about the actual story of Heathens. Heathens, like I said, has 3 friends, and Axel, deciding on doing, the smartest thing in the world, feeds a bunch of treats to a bunch of hellhounds, and instead of actually preparing traps ahead of time, like Aura told him to, he decides, hey, we're going to do this without traps, and he forgets the most simple part is always have a plan, because everything will go against that plan. So they're running away, and we see that they have powers, these unique powers. Axel's able to create these unique type of things with his imagination, while Aura is able to basically use weapons, which is very unique. Like, their powers don't feel super unrealistic, but they feel pretty unique to them. And they kind of fit them. But moving on from that, they later meet up with Carlos, who has prepared a trap because he knew Axel would be an idiot. And they capture a hellhound. And then Axel's begging Carlos to let him take the hellhound because he doesn't want to go to the pound. But Carlos is like, you're going to the pound, buddy. You're going to go deal with it. And then we get to the credit scenes where he's truly trying to capture one. And that is the entire pilot. I had to explain 10 minutes of lore in basically 40 seconds. Actually, more like a minute. But yeah, no, it's a very short pilot, but the pilot does have a lot of stuff in it. So where do I truly land on Heathens? Honestly, this is one of the most promising indie animated pilots I have truly seen in a long time. The art is clean, the characters are immediately likable, and the world has real depth into it, and there's actually a clear vision to where this is going and some clear lore in it. Is this pilot perfect? No, it's short. There's a lot of things that are left unexplained. Like, you have to go into the Discord server to get some more information and stuff like that. But if you're expecting a heavy lore, you might get a little lost. But for first impressions of what this show truly is and who these people are, it works. It works as a good introduction. Now, if you're truly lore hungry, that's where you're looking forward to more content. A full season hopefully should come. Based on what we've heard from Studio Psycho, they're currently just working on the funding to get the show fully made, and we are not expecting an episode until 2027 unless something happens this year and they're able to make an episode later this year. But most likely 2027 is when we'll hopefully see episode 2 of this show. And if you haven't watched Heathens yet, hey, click the link down below or the card above. Go give this show an actual try. It's literally just 10 minutes. You're gonna love it. It's amazing. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video. This is meant to be a short video because I'm kind of lazy and I want to make a video. So yeah, subscribe if you're new. I cover a lot of stuff here on PanzerVerse, like the Amazing Digital Circus and a whole lot of murder drones. And let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on the Heathens pilot, and are you truly hyped if they made a full season of this? Drop it down below. I'll see you next time. Panzer out, folks.